How's it going, everyone? This is Mike. Welcome back to my channel and another movie log. This is going to cover a 2-week period because I skipped last week. I was intending to make one of these movie logs every Monday, and I just got lazy and distracted. So this is going to cover what I watched beginning on March 16th up until last night, which was what, April 6th, 7th, something like that. Anyway, so starting off with one of the last videos I did, I showed the movies that I bought from Twilight Time Video, all the things that they had on sale. So most of those I watched during this 2-week period. I'll go through them very quickly, beginning with Al Pacino and Kitty Wynn in Panic in Needle Park. If you've ever considered a career in heroin addiction, please watch this first. It may change your mind. Terrific film, but I had forgotten just how downbeat and depressing it really was, but absolutely worth seeing. Speaking of depressing, here is Who'll Stop the Rain, starring Nick Nolte and Tuesday Weld and Michael Moriarty. Very good film. I'd never seen it before. I thought the two lead actors were terrific. Michael Moriarty was good, but Tuesday Weld and Nick Nolte were fantastic in this. Very good story. I enjoyed it thoroughly up until about maybe the last half hour, and it started to drag a little bit. But I will watch this again just to see the performances. Okay. I also enjoyed rewatching No Down Payment, starring Joanne Woodward, Cameron Mitchell, Jeffrey Hunter, in a film all about the late 1950s. People trying to start life anew in one of the new suburbs, and it's a big soap opera, but it's really well acted and well done. Always enjoyed watching that film. My Cousin Rachel, starring Olivia de Havilland and Richard Burton. Wow, what a great movie. I thought the remake, the one that came out just a few years ago, was terrific. This is also terrific. And I can't say which one is better. They're both excellent films. I've always loved Olivia de Havilland, and I haven't seen that much of Richard Burton, especially when he was young. He was incredible, so I need to see more of his work. So yeah, very, very good experience. Samuel Fuller's Underworld USA from 1961, starring Cliff Robertson. One of the best examples of film noir that I've ever seen. My experience of Samuel Fuller is rather limited. I think I've only seen maybe 3 of his other films, but I would like to see a lot more. This is the best one of his that I've seen so far. Highly recommended. And I also watched this DVD of 5 Steps to Danger, starring Sterling Hayden and Ruth Roman, in a neat little drama that was thoroughly enjoyable to watch, but nothing in here that you wouldn't see on a typical television drama from the late 1950s, but still a lot of fun and worth seeing. I also decided to watch the Before Trilogy, directed by Richard Linklater. Okay, now I had considered buying the Criterion Collection box set, which is very expensive. Even if you buy it during a half price sale, it's still a lot of money. And I happened to find these on sale. I found 2 of them on sale and 1 on eBay, and saved a lot of money because I really wanted to see what these were like. And I've become an Ethan Hawke freak in the last month or so. So we have Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, and Before Midnight, all done several years apart, covering the relationship of these 2 people. An American guy traveling through Europe meets a French girl on a train. They decide to get off in Vienna for a while just so they can spend some time together, fall in love. It's all very beautiful. In the second film, well, at the end of the first film, they pledged to meet at the very same spot at that train station 6 months down the road. And then in the next film, you find out if they did or did not meet, and their relationship continues. And the third film gets much more serious because relationships tend to get very complicated, and it gets very dark for a certain period, but thoroughly enjoyable. Although I will admit, I am very glad that I did not spend big money on these. I'm not sure that the Criterion Collection, that's probably blasphemy to say that, but I'm not sure that expensive collection was necessary for this, but I did like these very much, and I will watch them again. Okay, some of the other things that I watched, I rewatched The Third Man, which I had only seen once before many, many years ago on the big screen. Didn't remember much about it. Picked this up quite a while ago, I think, at Big Lots for $5. Always intended to rewatch it. A friend of mine emailed me and he asked me about The Third Man. He said he wanted the advice of an expert, meaning me, because I like to talk about films. He wanted to know what I thought about this, and I said, well, I haven't watched it in a while, so let me watch it again. I'll let you know. I just loved it. It was incredible. There's something about this, in my opinion, it even seemed more effective on a small screen because everything about it is so enclosed and so confining and claustrophobic. All the dark alleys and the sewer underneath Vienna. I mean, really a terrific movie. I didn't like the zither score, and I think I may be a majority of one in saying that. I think a lot of people disagree with me here, but I thoroughly enjoyed this movie, and I will definitely watch it again. Third Man. I watched for the first time Independence Day. This is another one I picked up cheaply years ago. Never got around to watching it. Something about being in this ridiculous quarantine situation made me start opening things that I never thought about watching before. So I had a great time watching it. It seemed like it went from slightly comedic to very dark and violent, which was kind of surprising. But yeah, I did enjoy this very much. Independence Day. I rewatched Blowout, John Carpenter's film starring John Travolta and Nancy Allen, and who's the actor that played the villain? I just forgot his name. I'll think of it later. But yeah, great movie. I had forgotten just how good this was. Had not seen this since it came out in 1981, and didn't remember very much about it. But I think it's probably the best thing that John Travolta ever did. And Nancy Allen's a treat. Really a good movie. Okay, for the first time I watched Robert Redford's A River Runs Through It with Brad Pitt. Beautiful movie. What can I say? I thoroughly enjoyed this. And yeah, I just can't believe I waited so long to watch it. Just a beautiful film. Last night, the last film that I watched, I rewatched Vanilla Sky, starring Tom Cruise and Penelope. Tom Cruise and Penelope Cruz, and what's her name? Cameron Diaz, Jason Lee. Great film. Another one that I had not seen since it first came out, and I happened to pick up this copy from one of my aunts who passed away. Her name is on the top here. And yeah, really a good movie. Liked it a lot. I also rewatched Fantastic Voyage from 1966. Somebody had mentioned this during, I can't remember now who talked about this. It must have been, maybe it was me during the video we did for the year 1966, which is the year that Harry was born, Harry Benson. I guess that's it. It made me think that I hadn't seen this in a very long time, and I wanted to watch it again. Didn't remember a lot about it, but very good film, very good effects for 1966. I also watched a couple of Clint Eastwood movies. One was In the Line of Fire, which he plays a Secret Service man who had been guarding John F. Kennedy when on the day that he was assassinated. He always regretted that he did not save the president's life. Then he gets the chance to do it again. Fantastic performance by Willem Dafoe. We also have Rene Russo. No, not Willem Dafoe. John Malkovich. I always get those two actors mixed up. I don't know why that is. But yeah, very good film. Bone-crushing violence again, but I wasn't surprised because it is Clint Eastwood. Did enjoy it very much. And I finally got around to watching The Bridges of Madison County with Eastwood and Meryl Streep. Beautiful movie. Of course, you know, a wild affair is always much more exciting than just the dull, everyday life of marriage, I guess. But yeah, very good performances by these two. Very good movie and beautiful to look at as well. I also ended up watching a film that I didn't bring down. I watched Ingmar Bergman's Scenes from a Marriage, starring Liv Ullmann and Erland Josephson. Also, Bibi Andersson is also in it, and another actor whose name I can't remember. They played another married couple. I finally decided to start getting into the Ingmar Bergman box set that I bought from Criterion. So I just picked that at random, and I had never seen it before. Fantastic movie. It was 169 minutes long. There are two versions of the film in the box set. One is the theatrical film, which I watched, and the much longer television miniseries, which is how the whole thing started. I may end up watching that eventually too, but it was very, very interesting. And while all this was going on, I also watched a whole bunch of B films. One is the 5 films in this Michael Shane box set, which were a lot of fun. Most of them only about an hour long and very predictable, but a lot of fun. And I also watched a whole list of movies from these Sinister Cinema Poverty Row collections. I watched several films. Let's see if you remember any of these titles. Phantom Killer, Dawn Express, Submarine Base, South of Panama, The Lady Confesses, and Gambling Daughter, starring Gail Storm. And that's 10 minutes of your life that I've taken from you. But that covers my last 2 weeks. Comments are welcome. Let me know if you've seen any of these or what you think. Thanks a lot, folks.